Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and we're going to take a look at the differences between Cortana and Siri on these two different phones. Now we're going to take a quick look, see some of the differences they have, and on this side we have a Nokia Lumia Icon. On this side we have an iPhone 5S. This is running iOS 8, this is running Windows Phone 8.1, this is actually Beta 5, but Siri is pretty much the same, so that should give you a good idea. So if we scroll down here, we have Cortana, and as you can see, it's flipping through some news stories that it thinks I might see based on, or might want to see based on what I'm doing on the phone. If I open up Cortana, it says getting things ready. Here are the top stories for today. And there's some news stories. It's asking me if this is where I work. So it's got something like Google Now built in, and then it's got some different news. Here's some stock. Here's the weather. And that's pretty much it. If we open up Siri, well, we don't get a whole lot of that. Indeed. And that's kind of funny, but let's ask it a simple question such as, how is the weather? And I want to show you in this demonstration how fast it actually picks up the voice. What's the weather going to be like this week?
The forecast shows there will be cloudy skies with highs up to the 80s.
Now for the next test, I'll do a similar one more time just to show you how quickly it types, but then we'll go back and forth. That way you can actually hear what they say. What's the weather like right now?
Okay, here's how the weather is now. It's 74 and partly cloudy.
So they must both be using different weather services, as we asked it the same thing, and it's close weather-wise at least. Now let's set a reminder. Remind me tomorrow at 2 p.m. to check the weather.
Here's your reminder for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Shall I create it? Okay then.
And I'll cancel it. Let's do the same over here. Remind me tomorrow at 2 p.m. to check the weather.
All right. I'll remind you to check the weather at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Is that...
So you can see they're both pretty similar that way, and we canceled both of them. Let's ask them a little bit more interesting question. What do you think of Bill Gates?
I really couldn't say. I quite literally can't imagine a world without him.
So just like Siri, Windows Phone has some humor built into it, and some things can be pretty funny. Let's ask another question. What's the best smartphone?
All the best virtual assistants prefer the iPhone. Oh, come on, Chief. Windows Phone.
So you can see they both obviously are going to think they're the best, which obviously makes sense, but let's ask them something related to Google a little more. Okay, Glass.
Just so you know, I don't do anything when you blink at me, Aaron.
So there's the little bit of humor built into Siri that we saw. I actually did a comparison video, or did a Google Glass video on iPhone when we found out that those actually show up when you kind of make a response to Google Glass on the iPhone. Let's try something a little bit different that we know Windows Phone does. Remind me the next time Rebecca Zollo calls to ask her about the car.
Sure. Next time you talk to Rebecca Zollo, I'll remind you to ask her about the car. Sound good?
Sure.
Sure thing.
So it was kind of close. It didn't pick up my voice exactly, but let's ask Siri the same thing. Remind me when Rebecca Zollo calls to ask her about the car.
Here's your reminder. Shall I create it? Okay, I won't remind you.
So on the iPhone side, it's just going to create a simple reminder, where on the Windows Phone side, it actually intelligently knows that the next time my wife calls, it will pop up a reminder on the phone and let me know that I have to remind her about something. So it's a really handy little feature that something Siri does or doesn't do that Windows Phone does with Cortana. What's the best video game system?
Let me check on that. Here's what I found on the web for the best video game system.
They're both searching the web whenever it can't get anything. Let's ask it a math problem. What's 400 divided by pi?
Checking on that. It looks like the answer is approximately 127.324.
So in this case, Siri actually went out to the web and figured this out for me using Wolfram Alpha. So pretty nice. It's built in. You can see right here, Wolfram Alpha right there. So on the Windows Phone side, well, it does do math at times. It just didn't understand pi. What's 422 times 537 divided by 2? So you can see on the top, it actually will do math problems, but it just didn't understand it right as far as what we did before. We can do some other searches related to images. Find me pictures of Lamborghinis.
Here are some images of Lamborghinis I found on the web.
So both of them were pretty successful at that, and Siri was a little more personable on that one. But I find Cortana and Siri to be so similar, yet they both are a little bit honed to do different things that are close to one another. So Microsoft is really focused on making Cortana an assistant, while Siri is also an assistant, but does a couple different things. Let's try a text. Text Rebecca Zollo and say goodnight.
Text Rebecca Zollo and say goodnight. Send it, add more, or try again.
Both respond to text. Now, in my experience in the car, Cortana is a little bit better in that you really don't have to touch the screen at all. It will just constantly respond to you. And as a text comes in, it will speak it to you. So that's one advantage I've found that Windows Phone actually does have. So let's try the suggestion here. How far to the Grand Canyon?
Looking. Getting directions to Grand Canyon.
It'll take about 30 hours to drive to Grand Canyon. It's about 2066 miles away.
So both of these responded in a similar way, but I got more valuable information, in my opinion, from Windows Phone in that I wanted to know how far it was. I don't have to look at the map to do that. However, we do have the option, obviously, to drive there, or we can tap on this map and drive there as well. So there's different ways of approaching this kind of information, and I think both of them do a pretty good job. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Maybe there's some things you'd like to see compared, and for some reason my Wi-Fi hotspot turned on here. I'm not really sure why it did that, but let me know what you think of Cortana versus Siri in the comments below. And if there's anything else you want to see me compare between the two, let me know that as well. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.